I just made the guy give the ball up. My technique is to come off the ball. Doesn't matter what scramble it is, doesn't matter when it is. My technique is to come off the ball, switch hands, and see that pass. What's the job of an adjacent player in a scramble? Anybody remember? Block and close. Take away the diagonal. Close on the adjacent. I'm an adjacent player in the scramble like that. There's a force. Here's the adjacent. There's the other adjacent. There's no fill. So because there's no fill, the two adjacent guys got to get a little bit tighter and give up a little bit more on the perimeter. Right? So now we look like this. This is one. Here's two. Here's three. There's he's taken away that diagonal to him. This guy's ready to react to that pass. Right? And now he's here. So when he throws the ball there, what's my technique? I'm on the ball, he threw it there. I come in, I stare, I try to find, when I come off the ball, ball's going that way, I'm coming, my stick is at my shoulder level because that's where the pass is going to go. Right? So I come off the ball and I'm looking for that ball. Okay, we don't do this at Furman, but when I was at Carolina, you remember this, what did you get if you knocked the ball down in a 4-on-3? Remember? Get a little target.
Oh, target.
You got a left target. A left-footed target. Okay, we don't do that. But that's the point. Okay? So now, you can defend anything. So let's say now, they got 5. We got 4. Right? Ball's here. He's the force. He's the adjacent. He's the adjacent. He's the fill. What takes away that diagonal pass? Right now, this situation is, if he starts to creep up here, he'll release him. And now our two top guys got to come in a little bit more. All this only happens if we communicate. Right? So we're not even at this point yet. So it doesn't matter if the scramble as a result of them making us put 2 guys on the ball, or if it's as a result of a 4-on-3 or an unsettled. If the goalie yells scramble, we play it the exact same way. The techniques are the same. Let's say they got 6. Okay? Here's the ball. Force, adjacent, fill, adjacent, fill. Pass, force, adjacent, fill, fill. Right? So that's man-down defense. We teach it the exact same way. We don't have to change playing man. We can fool around with man-down defense. We can come cross-cage, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Here's the other thing that doesn't matter. This guy's dodging to the cage. And let's say we play a crease siding, a crash defense. This guy's going to slide, right? He's got to come down. He's got to come down here and cover here, right? We're in a scramble. There's the force, there's the double team, adjacent, two fills. Okay? Let's say this happens. We go that way. Right? Probably what happened would be this guy would come here, that guy would go there. Force, adjacent, fill. So no matter what happens, no matter where you slide from, you slide cross cage, you slide from the crease, you slide adjacent, once there's two guys on the ball, you're in a scramble. You play a scramble the exact same way. The end game in a scramble is a check up. That ends the scramble, and that's the last part of it. So you got a force, a support, a scramble, and then we call that a recovery. And a recovery is we're back to all even, check up, now we're back in our regular defense. Okay? You got anything else?
Hey, Coach.
Yes.
One minor, not a minor, one point sometimes I struggle with demonstrating is inside the box, especially inside 12 or something like that. There's a pick, a good legitimate pick, and there's a switch and step up technique. I think you talked a few years back. That sometimes I struggle with when you do step up. When your partner steps up on defense and inhibits the progress toward the cage, you can still slip in. That offensive player, if he's really down, can slip in. I think there's a vulnerability that I just wanted to go over.
The guy that has the ball, the guy that set the pick.
The guy that got the ball.
Okay. So the question comes down to how you play pick. Right?
Yeah.
So basically, we're talking about how we play a pick. So let's say we got two blues and two reds. And he's setting the pick. So a couple of things. First is communication, there's a pick. All right, so my guy's setting the pick. I'm telling the guy that's covering the pick, hey, there's a pick. We're here. We tell our guys, and we changed this a little bit, I've changed it since working with Dave Petromello. We tell the guy guarding the ball, get through the pick. Don't look to switch, look to get through. All right? And so, I'll show you something else too, it's kind of interesting. But generally, we're telling this guy, right, get through it. Get through that pick. If he doesn't get through, I switch. All right? Yeah, if he gets, what we tell in that technique, if he gets any piece of you, you switch. All right? Now, here's what we started doing, because we were very concerned about the Canadians. All right? So, this is fucked up, but the blue team are the Canadians. This guy's got the ball. Right? This guy's setting the pick. This is what we did. So, we brought the guy who's man setting the pick down here. Now we got more guys down here than they got. And they've got 2-on-1 up here. So if our guy can get through, fine. We're good. If our guy can't get through, we're going to slide anyway. We still have more guys than them inside. Okay? If they throw back, we're going to slide to him. So we basically took the pick game out of the game. We never did that. But that's how we're gonna take the pick game. We're just gonna send one guy, one of us against two of you. That way, no matter what you do, we're gonna have a floater. Okay? But generally, I would tell your guys playing the ball, get through the pick. Right now, we had this in practice, I got it on film. We would practice 4-on-4 and pick all over the place, and most of the time, the guy guarding the ball can get through the pick. He can either get underneath or he can get up top. All he needs is communication. And when you have to switch, you switch. If you want to take the pick game away up top, if it's really hurting you, that's a way to do it. It doesn't really work on the side. We didn't use it on the side, that's different. On top, and again, you can understand when you're playing against a Canadian two-man game, they're really good at all these little things. So instead of dealing with it, we kind of retreated. That was the plan. We didn't know they were going to score like 4 goals off the ground. They didn't get anything out of it, by the way. We spent a lot of time working on it, and they got nothing.
Who makes the switch call if he does? If he can't get through the pick, who makes it?
The guy who's man setting the pick. The guy who's man setting the pick is running the show. The guy who's covering the pick is listening, talking, and trying to get through the pick. That's his focus. Yes?
Coach, you preach stepping up or stepping under when you're playing the ball?
Any way, John, any way you can get through.
Okay.
Sometimes you got to push the guy through. Sometimes you got to drop and get underneath. You know, there's certain places you have to go through. Like so, if they set it there or there, you can't go through there. You got to hold that. We got to hold for that. Probably double teaming, right? Be ready to come and become. So, that's more of a generally I would say just get through it. That's what I would start with. But if they set it either on the goal line extended or the back tangent, I think you got to either double it or switch. Those are your choices. You know, it's just like I have more of a tendency now to double team it. You know, execute what we call a razor, just because a lot of teams are very, very good at it now. You know, so you might as well dictate it. You know, when I was at Navy, we played Princeton, and they had a Boyle. And what they would do with Boyle is they'd set a pick for him behind the goal was short. And we were like, we don't have a short that can guard him. So what we're going to do is, we called it a blitz. We didn't know what to do, so we just attacked, right? So what we decided to do was double team it, and then whatever side. So let's say you got a short, you got a mini, right? An attack man with the ball, something like that, right? So you got a defenseman, a midi, you know, these guys are just guys, right? So what we decided to do on this was, we couldn't get through it. You know, like when you put it right there, you put this in the beginning of guys doing it, right? So you can't get through it. You don't have any room to get through it, right? And if you try to get through it, he's got so much momentum coming to the cage, you got problems. So what we decided to do was, this was him, right? So that was Boyd. So we knew we were doing this, right? So we got a defenseman, he double teamed in, so he's got the ball, and this guy's going to come one way or the other, right? So let's say he comes that way. He's going he's coming down, he's coming here, he's always recovering opposite diagonal. So that's how we go. And that was a blitz. We called it a blitz. If he went the other way, you just slide and bring the other guy in. Right? So I think we're probably at the end of my time. Close. Well, guys, listen, I really appreciate being here. 2 hours away. I did it this morning. So come watch us play. Coach Wayne.